Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely little island of Fawnhollow today? Mr. A button. You might say, how do you miss the A button? There's only 4 buttons on this controller anyway, and I don't really have a good response for you there. So I'm just leaning over to open my window slightly. Of course, it being June, the weather, not the weather. Well, I mean yes, the weather, but the temperature slowly rising in UK. No thanks, I'm sure, to some form of climate change as well as seasons changing, but that's neither here nor there. The end result is it's getting kind of warm, so open the window, try and let the cool breeze in, and not turn your room into a little bit of a greenhouse, if anything. So hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:34 p.m. on Sunday, June 13th, 2021. Don't really have any big news today, but start of a new week, so we'll go about our usual business. What's been going on today? Not much. I started some Little Nightmares, so I recorded the first 2 episodes today. But okay, I think. I'm not sure if I had the energy as I might have expected to record first episodes today, but whatever. If people watch it, they watch it. If they don't, they don't. But it's a very atmospheric game so far, I must say. Such a touchdown. I was wearing down my workout gear when I suddenly got the urge to lift the couch. I called it couch benching. Get it? Anyway, long story short, found myself on my couch. Want it? Well, it's yours now. Muscularly yours, Rowan. Definitely had that letter before. What was he given us so kindly? An exercise ball he found out under a couch. How did that fit under a couch? I guess it was uninflated or something. But yeah, so I started playing some Little Nightmares. It was pretty cool. Mira got down there very quickly. It was a very fun game, very atmospheric, very spooky at the same time. So go check it out in about 1 month's time when it actually gets uploaded. Right now I'm working on the thumbnail art. I've done all the lineup. I'm midway doing colours and I took a break and I was gonna maybe do some more today, but then I didn't. I think I started about last night probably. I don't remember exactly when I did it. Oh yeah, I came over here to water the flowers. So that's all well and good. You know what else is going on today? If you thought, oh, England's against, I don't even know what country in the European Football World Cup. It's not World Cup. European Football Cup. The new may be correct. I don't actually know if England's against Croatia right now or something. And I don't know which country they're against, but for some reason my mind is Croatia, and apparently they've got their 1 goal up. I don't know if it's still going on. Let's see. I'm not much of a football fanatic, so I don't really know about this sort of thing. Europe Cup England. It is against Croatia. Is it ongoing? It's 18 minutes in. Apparently England's up 1-0. So good job, English football team. You're doing rather well for yourself. Tomorrow is the Dragon Boat Festival Day in China, and in any country who celebrates it, I suppose. So not today. I've always known as Douanwujie, I believe, which I don't even know what that means because that certainly doesn't translate to Dragon Boat Festival, but we'll save that conversation for tomorrow when it's a bit more appropriate. Right now we're just gonna vibe. It's Sunday, I feel low energy. We're gonna go with it, Apparently playing Little Nightmares took a lot out of me. Not like it was particularly draining, but it was pretty fun. I just took a little bit of a break and now I don't know, it's more time. Maybe it's the heat starting to get to me. I don't do well in hot weather, so that's what happens. I like the cold, I like the cold, I like the chilly. Doesn't make any sense. There's your animated cartoon song for this episode. I'm sure there'll be many more because I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. Yeah, what should we talk about? I don't know, E3's been going on. Oh yeah, the Wholesome Direct was yesterday. It was pretty good, but it was still, to be fair, a lot of it was similar games that happened that I already knew about, but there weren't many new ones that I can record off the top of my head. In fact, I can't remember any new ones from that Direct off the top of my head, but I enjoyed watching it. It's very wholesome. I can't remember names, but there was definitely a few I was interested in. As always, I'm going to open up the E3 2021 recap website because that's got all the information on it. So I can see which ones I had in mind when I was looking at it. Also, I don't know what's going on right now. What sort of stream's going on right now? I'm going to pause that before it's going on. Let's see. Right now, it's nothing. There's an upload VR. It starts at 5:30. Oh, Xboxes later today. Oh yeah, Ubisoft had theirs yesterday. I saw some Rainbow Six Siege stuff. They have a new operation coming out. Oh, need to catch fish, fell a tree, plant a tree, buy things. Okay. Yeah, they have a new operation coming out with Thunderbird. Had a nice little animatics to go along, featuring Nomad and Frost as well. I haven't played Siege in maybe half a year or something is my guess, so I don't super know what's going on. But I I don't know, the thing that struck me in that thing is that Thunderbird has joined Team Nomad. Apparently there's some sort of team system going on, not teams and like the game mechanic wise, I mean like lore wise, there's some sort of team story going on, which I don't really know how that adds up or works out for anyone, but you know, there you go. If you're interested in that, I'm sure you already know. I know at least now know what Thunderbird does. She be putting down healing kits or something, which you can walk over and it'll periodically heal you, that sort of thing. But yeah, okay. Let's see. Home E3 recap. How about own E3 recap of what things I was interested in? You know me, I love a wholesome direct. This stuff, not quite what I'm looking for. Sam and Max, maybe some people like that. Never played it. Maybe I will at some point. Is this a wholesome direct? This can't be a wholesome direct. So Wizard would have begun. Oh yeah, the Mario and Rabbids. There's a second Mario and Rabbids game coming out where they're doing away with the square grid system that they had in the previous one, and now it seems a little more freeform. They also have this new mysterious character being introduced. She's got like rad hair, and the Rabbid Mario has fallen in love with her or something. I don't know if we should probably not cut down these trees. These are the nighttime trees, aren't they? If only we could still have that glitch with those starbit trees or whatever they're called. If you don't know, there used to be an old glitch in Animal Crossing, which I think has since been patched, where you could basically create trees out of star fragments. Instead of having actual fruits and stuff off a tree, you'd have star fragments growing off a tree. I don't believe you can do this anymore, but that's a pretty cool in-concept thing. Yeah, Mario and Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. It's interesting. Rabid Lumas are probably one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. But it's interesting how Nintendo's very much pushing Rosalina as a mainstay sort of character in the Mario series, despite the fact she only appears in like... Well, I should say she's only a title sort of character in 2 games, them being Mario Galaxy 1 and Mario Galaxy 2. The other games she appears in are sort of amalgamate games, where, you know, a load of other Nintendo characters join in anyway, you know. Like Mario Kart, she appears in Mario Kart. She appears in Smash Bros for some strange reason. It's very strange, you know. I guess she's a fan favourite. I didn't realise quite how popular she was, but, you know, she's doing well. Oh yeah, there's Just Dance 2022, as always. I can't remember, there's some famous guy, I can't remember his name, who's in this one, Todrick Hall, that's it. Who's in the announcement. For this one, his song is in it, and he's got like a special choreography to go along with it with a video. Good for him. It was pretty catchy from what I recall, but I actually don't remember how the song goes. I just remember one part he goes, "I slay," I think, you know, I'm like, yeah, you slay. Slay. Rainbow Six Extraction, not my sort of thing, but it looks like a Left 4 Dead sort of version of... Oh, he's still ill. I forgot to buy you medicine yesterday. I'm terrible. Oh no. Oh yeah, here we go. Wholesome Direct. We got Frog Song, which is a game I've added to my wish list. That does not look like Frog Song. Oh, it does. But the preview window is a little bit scuffed. But do we need to sell anything? Sell fruits. Okay, let's catch some fish. But yeah, Frog Song. That was a game I've added to my wish list. The last Wholesome Direct, I think. I don't mean it in the sense of being like, oh, I wish these games would get developed faster. And I know video games, or like any sort of large media property, definitely take quite a few years to develop and create. So, you know, there's no rush or anything. But I'm interested in it. I need to add some more of these games actually to my wish list, because I forgot to do that afterwards. I watched it. I pressed A too quickly. Oh, Amber Isle. That one's pretty cool. It looked like a sort of relaxing Stardew-esque sort of simulation game, but all your villagers are like, sorry, not all your villagers, well yes, kind of all your villagers, but you like look after like dinosaur villagers. Everyone's like a dinosaur, but not like anthropomorphized dinosaur, like if dinosaurs were villagers in Animal Crossing sort of thing. That looked pretty fun. But I don't know, simulation farming sort of games aren't always my sort of jam, you know. I guess it's the management side of things which don't interest me as much. So I like Spiritfarer, as in I liked the story, I like meeting with characters, and I liked the mechanics to begin with, but then, you know, when when it started eventually going up just to being much more of a management style game, didn't tickle my fancy as much. I don't know why. Oh yeah, Spiritfarer got an update, didn't it? Like Lily or something. A character called Lily got released. Okay, there's no way I'm catching that fish because it's so weirdly positioned. I just think management sort of games are no longer my sort of deal, you know? You would have thought, hey, sorry, I can't speak valid sentences. You would have thought they would appeal to me a lot, you know, I do like efficiency, I do like organise things to be organised, and those sort of sensibilities appeal to me, and you would have thought they'd synergise quite well with those sort of games, and I dare say they do synergise rather well, but it's not like my idea of fun. That's sort of the things I apply to my practical life. But when it comes to recreational things, you know, that's the time you sort of let loose from those sort of rules, and it's like, you know, I'm not as interested in being so uptight with my organisation, my scheduling, and that sort of thing anymore. I just want, if anything, you want a little bit of chaos recreationally. It's a disconnect from, I would say professional life, but professional life's not really the word, but it's like my operational life versus my indulgement in recreational media properties and that sort of thing. So yeah, maybe management games don't sort of vibe with me. Like Stardew? Stardew's sort of like a hit or miss, you know? Currently I'm playing it with friends, and playing with friends is more fun because, you know, it's basically just, you know, talking in a big call or doing something mindless, which is exactly what I do when I socialise, and at least online. But the actual core game, like, I played it for myself solo for a bit, you know, I just couldn't find it all that addicting, to be honest. I liked it for a bit, and then it just, like, you know, it just became a little bit dull. But now, you know, we're playing Stardew, I don't need to interface with the actual, like, growing crops and figuring out what we need to grow every single day. I don't think we need any of these fish, so I'm just going to sell them. Like my friends take care of that instead. I'm just there to fish and generate money, but no longer am I the main bread maker, I suppose, when it comes to Stardew. We haven't played it in a while, but, you know, that's because it's probably difficult to organise that sort of thing, and I certainly I'm not helping in that regard, I'd imagine, but, so my apologies to my friends if they're watching this, but it's fine, you know. It's a relaxing game. It's not like there's much of a pressure to keep up with that sort of thing in the first place. What am I buying? Sapling. Just take it as you want. So anyway, oh, teacup. If this was the tea house management game, if I recall right, and I'm gonna try and like watch it without. I'm gonna mute it. I think this is like you manage. I clicked the wrong button. You manage your like own little tea house, and I was like, that looks pretty cute. Yeah, it was like a little frog, and she managed to like her own little tea house and that sort of thing. But it felt more like a puzzle, or at least it looked to me more like a puzzle game than a management game. Unpacking was another cool one I saw as well. What should we buy? Customization kits, I guess. But yeah, unpacking seemed pretty interesting. There was I mean, unpacking, but this is like, I'm trying to pinpoint exactly what sort of things I do like and don't like in games, and management sort of games are a weird, tenuous thing where I like parts of it but don't like parts of it, and I like starting with it, but I don't like it if it carries on too long and it drags on too long, and it ends up feeling like a chore. So it's a difficult thing to balance. But unpacking looks like a short experience where it's just about unpacking, like, you're, what I can tell, basically you're following this person's story as they move into, like, different homes and that sort of thing, like, you know, they're unpacking to their new room when they're a kid, and then you're unpacking a teenager when you move house again, you unpack their stuff when they're a young adult or something, moving into uni dorms, and then, like, their adult life and that sort of thing. You might say, hey, is that a management game? Well, kind of, but not really. I guess I tend to get bored of management game when it revolves around finances and money and that sort of thing, and then the end goal is basically make as much money as possible. Well, this is a sort of management game where it seems to be much more about unfurling a story, slowly but surely. And that's why I can get into certain aspects of games and certain other ones like Spiritfarer. I can get into it because it's very heavily character based. The management side is, you know, is cool to start off with, and it got a bit boring. But for me, well, not boring, but like tedious, I should say. For me, but your mileage may vary. Stardew Valley, I didn't like the actual like growing crops and management thing and making money, but it was quite fun to talk to villagers randomly. But the problem is, with Stardew Valley, you need to actually grow things to get villagers to talk to you and that sort of thing. So instead of doing that, I just fished instead, which is always very relaxing. And unpacking, I don't know. I feel like because it's story first and then the mechanics are just slightly tied to the story rather than it's mechanics first with a good story surrounding it. Maybe that's a difference? I don't really know. It's quite hard to really decipher what it is exactly. Or maybe I guess this is more of a simulation game, which it's not like my favourite genre, but I don't mind it. But I guess this leans more heavily into the puzzle thing. Or maybe these will just be the sort of games I start playing and I start really liking them, and I get more. Then as they become more and more tedious, as it delves further into the simulation management side of things, I'm just like, nah, I'm losing interest again. I don't know. It's hard to say. And Passepartout 2 for Lost Artist. It seems interesting. It doesn't really... Amusingly, it's not my sort of game because it's about drawing basically and selling these drawings to make money. But really, it's sort of just like, well, I like drawing, so why am I going to do it confined in this game? Where now it's just got added systems of managing money and that sort of thing, because those things don't appeal to me. If it was like a drawing game, but it was like somehow incorporated puzzle elements to it, maybe I'd be like, ooh, that's my sort of cup of tea, but you know. And this is not like a knock on the developers or anything. If anything, more power to them, but they're making these like crossovers of different sort of things and genres because, you know, they appeal to someone out there. And just because that person's not necessarily me, doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it in the first place, you know. I'm not the entire audience. In fact, I'm just one person, which is why I'm just voicing my own things in my very specific Animal Crossing series. Oh, Kiwi. I'm still waiting for that Kiwi game. Or probably be another game we'll play, Benedict. I say we, I mean me. It's not like you're really tagging along for a ride, sorry. But, yeah, I mean, I often play co-op games. Benedict is always good fun. Whether that counts as a puzzle game or not, I'm not particularly sure, but... I guess the only thing we got is make a hot item. These ones are all quite difficult to do naturally. A lot of these are also interesting, but I can't remember them just by looking at the thing. Oh, Button City, that's another one I was anticipating for a while. Still waiting for it. Yokai looked interesting. Excuse me. Oh, Behind the Frame, that's a relatively new one. So I can't remember where I saw it though. Wooden toolbox, Western style stone. Oh, wooden toolbox, where are you? Where are you? Here I am, how do you do? There it is. Excuse me, game. 4 softwood, 2 iron nuggets. That seems doable. A diving beetle's also doable. We saw one earlier today, it's just pure chance. Oh yeah, Behind the Frame, that looks pretty interesting. Ooblets had an update coming out or something. Haven't played it, but also looked interesting. Alecon, can't remember what it was, but it looked interesting. Snacko, that one's been on my wish list for a while. Which again, I think is another management style game, so I'm not sure. You know, it's one I never really thought about. It's like, it looks cutesy and it's a management style game. It's like, oh, I think I like that. You know, it's organisation based. And then every single time, he's like, I slowly become more disillusioned with it. I guess the end goal of getting your money as high up as possible is not appealing to me, but the fantasy of like creating my own little business that I can run how I want, like a cafe or that sort of thing, is appealing to me, which is why it's this weird sort of back and forth disconnect I've got going on. You know, I'm learning a lot about myself right now. I'm learning a lot about myself. That's what happens when you talk to yourself by yourself for half an hour every single day about random topics. You really sort of delve deep into your psyche and your personality and what you got around you and who you are. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch some of these trailers again later. The problem is I'm always like doing stuff while I'm watching the show, so oftentimes I miss out on or skip over things I'm not paying as much attention to. I will pay full attention, of course, to the Nintendo Direct when that happens on Tuesday, because that is, of course, I do love my Nintendo games. Just hoping for a big Animal Crossing update or anything of that ilk. I read something on the Animal Crossing subreddit where people were just like, I'm getting more and more concerned about people that they were just like happy with these little events and we're just gonna like call it a day there, and it's gonna be like New Leaf where we're gonna have no new updates until like 4 years or 3 years later when we came up with a Welcome Amiibo update, at which point I stopped playing with the New Leaf game at that point. Apparently the Welcome Amiibo update was actually pretty good from what I can recall. Yeah, I can't seem to find a diving beetle. What was the other thing? Buy flower. Okay, let's buy flowers. I should have bought you flowers. Can't remember how the rest of that song goes. Let me drink some water. Stay hydrated and all that. Might even be a shorter episode than usual because I don't really have much to talk about. Don't have much on my mind. My mind is very much turned inwards today, rather than outwards. See, you get days where you can just talk easily non-stop, and other days where you can't. I guess I kind of talked myself out with little nightmares. You might say, how have you managed to do that? Because there's basically nothing going on in the game. Well, I think it's exactly that. Not there's nothing going on. I mean, like, there's no like dialogue or anything in the game. With Chicken Police, I basically didn't have to think of anything. When the entire game carried itself, but with little nightmares, you know. When it's silent, I just fill in the silence myself. And since it's silent all the time, I fill in all the silences myself with just random dialogue, just nonsensical talking whenever I can. It's a very big difference seeing. Like some of my earlier videos, I'm like, hey, it's Animal Crossing New Horizons, I really like this game, and hope it'll be fun. And now I'm just like, oh yeah, blah 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 blah. You ever think about what it's like when you go to sleep and you like jerk yourself awake? I wonder what that evolved from. Like, surely there's no evolutionary advantage to having that sort of thing. Like, you would have hoped, because if I think about it, it's really just a sort of internal stimulus, which shakes you up from that sort of waking. Really, you only want to be concerned with the external stimulus, because that's the sort of thing which is actually poses a dangerous threat to you, you know? You just got like stuff like that. Stuff off the top of my head. Was it a good dialogue? No, it was actually pretty terrible. But think, if you think about that level of improvement from just 1 year of... I mean, I'm not sure if I called it public speaking per se, but I guess it kind of is public speaking, isn't it? Imagine how powerful I'm going to be in 10 years' time. I'm going to be able to filibuster or whatever. That political term is for like just delaying a load of time, wasting people's time by speaking, which is some sort of, I don't know, I'm gonna say not rhetoric, but I don't even know what word is. Obviously I don't want to do that. It sounds like a very unfulfilling job if I'm perfectly honest, but you know, talk about things and be an entertainer, become like a teacher or something, entertain children. You know, like a nursery school teacher. That sounds fun. Would I be good at it? I have no idea. I've got honestly no clue. I've never worked with children that young, at least. I've only done a little bit of like a tutoring thing back in school, a maths club, as you will, if you will, to help kids with maths. Except I was more of an organizer. I didn't really do much tutoring. I sort of just like made sure that everyone all the other tutors turned up and all that sort of thing, and registered their attendance. That's about it. Anyway, that's not really important, neither here nor there. Not really relevant to what I was talking about. Talking about E3. Talking about simulation games? Management games, probably. Like, it makes me think, because I used to really like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 when I was younger, but maybe because I didn't really have such a big selection of games to choose on when I was younger. It was a game. It was actually lovely. It was like, a house I used to live in back when I was, I don't know, how old was I? 7 to 12ish maybe? I don't really know if that's quite the right age range. In fact, that sounds wrong, but I can't remember what it was. And it was like, not my next door neighbours, but my next door neighbours were another, like, 2 boys. We used to go to their house and play games about something. And one thing we used to do was play Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 at their house, and, you know, apparently I really loved it. But I guess I didn't play many PC games back then. I played probably Neopets, and that might be the extent of it. Oh yeah, we need to give a thing to Claude. Nah, well, he'll live. Probably. Exercise ball, put that away. Anything else to put away? No. Let us customize. Oh, we didn't buy medicine for Audie. Let's go buy medicine for Audie. Make sure we get at least that done. Today, otherwise we'll be a very horrid friend. But yeah, just play Roller Coaster Tycoon sort of thing. Sorry, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 a lot. So much so that at one point I saw a game, I think it was called like Roller Coaster Simulator or something. I saw it immediately. It was on sale during like our book fair or something, and I saw it and I was like, oh, I gotta buy it because it must be like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I played it like once. It was terrible, and you know I didn't play again. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't my sort of thing, as it turned out. But yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 I played a lot. And then eventually, when our family moved away, they gave me that Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 like CD as a parting gift. and it was great, and I played it a lot on my computer. Fantastic fun. A very sweet sort of gift. I wonder how they're doing now. They're probably doing great for themselves, I'd imagine. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're not. let's not jinx them. They're probably doing absolutely fine. But yeah, that's like a simulation sort of management game. Now I think about it, when I played that game, I didn't really do the challenges per se. What I did was mainly I just played the game with like infinite money, and then just built the little roller coaster park that I wanted to make. I guess that's sort of how I go about things. Creating stuff, fantastic. Tying it to a game about managing the creation process and like having limited resources, not my jam anymore. You've lost me. Weird, isn't it? How just a small thing like that can not completely upset your view on the game, that sort of thing, but it really changes the experience. Sometimes for good, sometimes for worse, and it just sort of depends on the person you are and what sort of video game genres you like, or really that can come to light. So I'll give this medicine to Audie. Round off this game here. So yeah, that's sort of, I guess, management games in a nutshell for me. Start out liking it, and then as it gets too tedious, don't like it anymore. But I think it can give a very interesting spice to a lot of different games. Like, I think it's always nice to have a sort of like condensed fantasy version. Like, I'm sure a lot of people would love the idea of like opening up their own restaurant or shop or like corner store or business or some sort of thing, but having it condensed down into a much more manageable light version in a video game where you don't actually have to deal with the stress of like, oh, what if I go bankrupt? Oh, I'll just start another new file instead. That sort of thing. It's like low stakes, but like a living vicariously through video games, which, you know, it's kind of quite a common theme for video games, isn't it? Also, I'll see you now, Audie. Sorry I didn't give you this yesterday, I actually forgot. It's alright, no one called me out on it, so that's just how it goes. So yeah, if you have been watching, I guess we'll round this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. I've spent Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are all greatly appreciated. Join the Dear Darling Discord down below and follow me on Twitter. Can't speak. I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. Hold on, haven't made it to the town hall yet. I can't say it. I'll say it slowly. I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now. Perfect.